I think this is how most people drive their retro sports car. They drive it on their day off. They look for a reason to go to the store. You park away from everyone because you love your car. Here's my excuse. I needed cat food. 20-year-old car. It's an 03 50th anniversary. Happy Sunday. Today's topic, retro sports cars. Have you picked yours up yet? Here's my retro sports car, 2003 C5Z06 Corvette. Shout out to Tommy is Tommy. He uploaded a video on his Firebirds, and that's my inspiration for today's video.
This thing's never been hit, never been wrecked. Very rare on these cars. And the reason being is because they're a ton of fun and they were super cheap for a long time. So, yep, see, doors don't sag. Seat isn't ripped up. All the padding's still there.
I bought this car 10 years ago for $20,000, and 10 years later, it's still worth $20,000. Bought it with 65,000 miles, and now it's at 79,000. So with this car, examples with under 20,000 miles, they're starting to hit 30 to 40 grand. Here's a video I uploaded 8 years ago. I'll repost it later in this video, but I spotted this Firehawk and it was for sale for $13,000, and I made a prediction that in 20 years it's gonna at least hold its value, but it's potentially gonna go up because I was seeing the writing on the wall with sports cars, muscle cars, and now this is what this Firehawk is worth. So I spotted that Firehawk around 8 years ago for $13,000. Didn't even take 10 years. Look at that price now, almost 30. So what's this gonna look like in another 12 years? YouTube content creator life. I like to find a quiet spot to film at, but it's like the universe provided me that Firebird to film. For another example, around 8 years ago, I made that prediction because I saw that expensive Porsche. I believe it was a 918. I don't know what the Ferrari model is, but there was a Porsche and a Ferrari going for $1 million. They had 1,000 horsepower, but it was a combination of gas and electric engine to produce that 1,000 horsepower. So I said that eventually they're not going to make manual transmission cars. So when I made that video 8 years ago, the C8 Corvette wasn't out yet. We were still at the C7 generation. We might have been at the end of the C6 generation. The C7 generation didn't last very long, but I said someday there's not going to be manual V8 cars with rear-wheel drive. And now, 8 years later, it's not quite as expensive as those $1 million Porsches and that Ferrari, but now we have the C8 E-Ray Corvette. So the E-Ray Corvette, you guys now know that the new C8 Corvette is rear engine. So the E-Ray has a 500 horsepower engine in the back and 150 horsepower engine in the front, making 650 combined. All-wheel drive does 0 to 60 in like 2.3 seconds. It's ridiculous. But see, like almost 10 years later, we have a scaled down version of those $1 million Ferraris and Porsches with the combination of gas and electric motors. So this experience is going away. Long front hood, front engine, rear wheel drive with the manual, that experience is going away. And I saw the writing on the wall even 8 years ago. And you saw that Firehawk, 13 grand, now going for 30. Alright, today's video, I'm going to elaborate on muscle car investments. Spotted this car at a dealer in my area. Firehawk, 315 horsepower. Everything looks original. 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds, 13.5 quarter mile. This is a LT1. This is a 97. Let's see what he wants for it. $13,000, 37,000 miles. I would buy this thing. I would offer 10 cash and just store it. Drive it on Sunday and Saturday, you know, put 50 miles a week on it, maybe less. And in 20 years, this is at least going to hold its value. So there you go. That's what I would buy. If I didn't have too much money and you want to invest. If you're rich, buy something else. Invest in a Hellcat, or invest in a GTR or something, or like a old Challenger, 60s Challengers if you could afford it. If you know you're like a normal American working class, 10 grand isn't too much. 10,000 isn't that big of an investment. I would buy that car and just, like I said, put 50 miles a week on it, just to keep it healthy, just to keep it moving. And in 20 years, that's at least going to hold its value. And who knows, you might get lucky and something like that is going to be sought after and be worth a lot more someday. But you know, that's a realistic investment right there, and I'd offer 10,000. But if you had the money, buy a Hellcat, Z06, Nissan GTR, buy one of those high dollar cars, and yeah, they're guaranteed to be worth a lot of money someday, especially if you keep them mint. Especially since I think the world's going to change. The automotive world is changing a little bit. Things are going to be turbo and automatic and partial hybrid. Well, a GTR is a V6 turbo, but you know, I think it's going to be worth something someday, because it's an expensive car the way it is. Challenger, Hellcat, Z06 are supercharged, but you know, I think everything's going to like partial hybrid someday. My prediction, something that's not a sports car or a muscle car, get yourself a Jeep Wrangler. Keep it in the plastic. Keep the seats plastic covered if you can. If you could afford an investment like that. Any of these off-road vehicles that aren't used very much, they're going to be worth something someday. Look at the Samurai. Geez, if you have like a stock Samurai, they're like 8 grand now. 5 to 8 grand if you have a nice stock one. So if you could afford something like a Jeep Wrangler, Rubicon, I'd leave that in the plastic, like the seats covered, and just drive it 50 miles a week. So what do you think is going to be an investment someday? I picked out that Firehawk just because it's affordable and it looks good. And like I said, 315 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 4.9. Now if you take a V6 Mustang or a V6 Camaro, they're doing about 0 to 60 in about 5.5. And what's it going to cost you? About 30 grand, 25 to 30 grand for 0 to 60 in 5.5. That's a $12,000 car doing it in 4.9. And as advanced as V6s are nowadays, you're not going to replicate that V8 sound that Firehawk's going to have. So there's my take on muscle cars as an investment. Like I said, if you don't have much money, if you're just a blue collar worker like myself, pick that up, store it away, and you have a fun car to drive on Saturday and Sundays. Here's the perfect way to enjoy your retro sports car. I wanted to film at a nice quiet spot, took the back roads. I have some errands to run, I gotta get some cat food, so I'm gonna take the back road and head to Vaughn's right now. Keeping the fluids circulated in my car. I've had this car for 10 years. Hopefully I have it for another 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. My nephew will inherit it one day. See, I'm in a nice quiet spot, so I could take this bump real slow. We'll go around, take a look at this Camaro here on the side. Universe provided me a nice retro car to film. Let me take a U-turn here so we could get a look. I'm not sure if we got a look at that Camaro, but let's go ahead and do this so we could get another look at that Camaro. There it is right there. Nice. So yeah, that's all I'm doing right now. Headed to Vaughn's right now. It's a nice day off, back to work tomorrow, so just enjoying my day off. Here you go. Could enjoy rolling through the gears a little bit. Here we go. It's a good sound. Yeah. So my path to Vaughn's is just through this back road here. I'm not taking the freeway. So yeah, that's how you enjoy your retro muscle car. Alright, impromptu video today. Coming back from the mall, and I see a car OCD guy out there. And then you'll see my car right next to him. Right there. Dodge Challenger, way out here with my car. I want to say it's a shaker hood. I think it's a shaker hood. Let's check it out right now. Impromptu video. Car OCD. We'll make a topic out of this. This is my prediction. If you have a rear-wheel drive manual V8 muscle car, hold on to it. And if you don't have one yet, buy one. Buy a cheap one. Buy a 97 Cobra like me. Buy a 97 Cobra like me. That car was like $5,000, and just hold on to it for the next 20 years. I don't know if the value is going to go up, but I know it's going to retain its value. In the very least, maybe in 20 years, it'll be worth it. If this guy comes out of the store, he'll be like, "What are you doing to my car?" Alright, let's see. Yep, shaker hood. Right there, Hemi. Shaker hood. Nice. Is it a manual? Ah, it's an automatic. It's okay. Shaker hood Challenger. But yeah, that's my prediction. If you don't have a muscle car yet, buy one. Buy one and hold on to it, because the times are changing. Times are changing right now. Everything is turning into like part hybrid. Like when you look at the uber super duper cars, like the new Ferrari, the Porsche 998, the $2 million one or $1 million one, they're super expensive, but they're part electric. It's like 2 electric motors in the front tires or rear tires along with the engine. They're 1,000 horsepower, but you know, I think things are going to change. I think we're going to go to turbo, V6 turbo, or we're going to go V6 turbo with electric motors. But V8 manual, rear wheel drive, I think that's going to die down. So, you know, if you don't got money, pick up a Mustang GT, like a 99 to 04. Those are dirt cheap. Or get an F-body Camaro, F-body Firebird. Those are under 10 grand. You know what, I'm gonna say it right now. That's an investment. Okay, that's your excuse. If you buy one of those cars, it's an investment. Buy yourself a F-body with the LS1, or get yourself a 99 to 04 GT Mustang and just hold on to the car. It'll be worth something someday, in 20 years. Go back to my YouTube channel in 20 years. And if I'm wrong, I'll buy you lunch. Guaranteed. So if any of you take my advice and you buy yourself a muscle car, and in 20 years it doesn't go up in value, I'll buy you lunch in 20 years when you check out my YouTube channel. Alright everyone. Nice day today at the mall. Car OCD.